Hello. That's crazy. That's not supposed to be there. Hi, guys. There we go. Whoa. How is everybody? Gosh, good to see you guys. Good to be here with you. Yes. I thought I go through all the little detail steps and then something happens. All right, here's the first question I have for the night. Has my sound been okay for you guys? Has it been loud enough in the last couple of shows? I went and listened to one of them, couple from last week or the week before, and it was because I got a comment from somebody that said they could barely hear me, and I went and listened to it, and I was like, "What?" And then there was another one that was that way too, and I'm trying to figure out what I did, if anything. Oh, thank you. Um, uh, if I change the settings, because you guys normally tell me if I'm too quiet or something like that, which is a rare thing that I'm too quiet. So I checked all my settings. I checked everything here and there, and it all seems fine. So who knows what's going on? Tap the button. Predictive text has bad grammar. yeah. Predictive text does have So Linda's here, and Tamara and Fatima are here. Thank you guys so much. Ooh, yummy. Clear and plenty loud enough. Yay. Oh yeah, it's sometimes YouTube does have some things, but they're I try pretty hard. Let's see what else is happening. So today I did my 27th everyday a doodle. I have one more. Today was forest canopy, which was really kind of a cool one, I thought. And it was kind of like perfect for my neighborhood because we oftentimes looking up into the forest canopy and what we see. So the perspective was as if you were lying on your back and looking up into the forest and what you saw. So that I tried. And then I got this done today. But Aldo finally let me sleep. It's been kind of lack of sleep for the past few days. So I got a lot of sleep last night. And I'm so grateful. I'm so... hey, I didn't post. I posted day 27, like literally at 4:30. So Linda, you are not behind. And so that was good. Tomorrow's everyday a doodle is your own signature doodle, which already has me thinking like, what am I going to do? Who knows what I'll do, but that's it. And then of course tomorrow it'll be watercoloring and working on my art. And I have a focus group call with Chase Jarvis and then accountability, but it is also economic boycott day worldwide, which is pretty cool. And I was listening to PM Artist Studio today, and they were, both of them, even though it's a small company, they said we still use big corporations for processing things, so don't buy from on tomorrow because it's a way to make a statement. And it was really interesting. One of the gals was from England and had a really nice statement about what it does and what the impact when we don't know other ways to make an impact. This can be a way that we can band together and make an impact. So it's great. It's a day to not spend anything. Yay. Anyway, but that's tomorrow. But tonight is story time, and two stories, and the names and places. So both stories are kind of from a child's perspective of things, very much so. And the childlike art and whatnot, it is so wonderful to see it from that perspective, that kind of childlike type art, but the story told in this way. And they're from two very different cultures. And that's what I loved about both of them. One is not a tradition that I was that familiar with, which is surprised me considering the number of friends that I have that are from this culture. And the other one was just yummy and one of my favorite things. So I'm excited to share both of these books with you tonight. The first one, let's see what first off, I'm not buying that word for, yeah. Yeah. Lying down in the forest in the sunlight day. Clear, okay. It is a good day. So the first story, let me get to that one popped up so that I can get to who it's by. Yes. This one, go to my screen share. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So this is by Leslie Newman. And she is, this was her website about herself, the author. She's welcome to my website. You can learn all things Leslie, books I write, presentations I offer, mentoring, and more. She started her I love this. She started her literary career by publishing poems in 17 magazine. How many of you guys also remember the 17 magazine? Oh my gosh. Yes. When I was a teenager and I never looked back. Some of my best known titles are October Morning, A Song for Matthew Shepard, A Letter to Harvey Milk, Hachiko Waits, which Hachiko Waits is a beautiful book, Sparkle Boy, and of course, Heather Has Two Mamas. Other things I know to know about me, I have a green belt in Shuri-ryu karate. I can turn a canoe on a dime. My favorite color is leopard print. I am mildly obsessed with shoes and never met a piece of dark chocolate I didn't like. Thank you for visiting my website. So I thought that was great. She has some other books for children, like here. This is the book, middle grade novel, Hachiko Waits, is so good. I had that in the library. And really, really wonderful, wonderful book about the dog Hachiko. And it's just a wonderful thing. Now, the book is illustrated by this person, Susan Gall? Yeah, Susan Gall. She completed her BFA in Art Center College of Design and began an illustration career as a poster and calendar artist in Los Angeles. Her love of drawing lively characters earned her an internship with Walt Disney Feature Animation, and she became a member of the original animation team at the Disney MGM Studios in Orlando. But the lure of the silver screen was not to last. She returned to her native California to continue her passion of creating whimsical illustrations and captivating picture books. She says, for as long as she can remember, I've loved making art. I started to dream about a career as an illustrator after an elementary school by the author Al Perkins. Inspired by his talk, my teacher, Miss Bryan, encouraged our second grade class to create our own picture books. I was incredibly excited, and for weeks I put everything I had into writing and illustrating my story. Miss Bryan contacted Mr. Perkins and asked if some of her students could share the books with him. He obliged, and the small group of us well-mannered youngsters met Mr. Perkins. A reporter showed up and captured the magical moment. That's me sitting next to Mr. Perkins, intently listening to him read his latest book. From that moment on, I knew I wanted to spend my life becoming a picture book artist. Ugh, a dream. And I still put everything I have into each and every book. I hope that I can inspire other young artists to express their creativity and chase their dreams. I love that. Look at that little elephant. That's so cute. So darling. And so she has picture books that she's done. Oh, I haven't seen We're going to read Joyful Song tonight. And her illustrations are just the vibrant colors. And her strokes are just incredible. I love this. So I'm very excited to share with you hers There we go. This book tonight called Joyful Song, a naming story. Look at that end paper. Just, wow, so good. Joyful Song, a naming story. Shabbat is the best day of the week, and today is the best day of all. It's my baby sister's very first Shabbat, and we get to stand on the bima with the rabbi in front of everyone and announce her name to the world. After we walk, Stella and Bella, and put on our dress-up clothes, it's time to leave for synagogue. I get to push the baby carriage. Miss Fukima is watering the roses in her garden. Good morning, Zachary. She nods at the carriage. Who are you pushing? My brand new baby sister. What's her name? Miss Fukima asks. Her name is Zachary. Mama interrupts me. Zachary? Miss Fukima raises her own eyebrow. I thought that was your name. It is, I say. My baby sister's name is Little Babka, Mama says quickly. We call her that because she's about the size of a freshly baked babka. And just as sweet, I add. There's nothing sweeter than a brand new baby, says Miss Fukima. Want to come with us to her naming ceremony? I ask. That's when her real name will be announced. It would be an honor, says Miss Fukima. We walk on. Mr. Baraka is reading the newspaper on his porch. Hello there, Zachary. He tips his hat. Who do we have here? My brand new baby sister. What does she go by? She goes by Shanae Madela. Mommy says, cutting me short. That's a nickname. That means beautiful girl, I explain. There's nothing more beautiful than a brand new baby, says Mr. Baraka. Want to come with us to the naming ceremony? I ask. That's when her real name will be announced. I would be delighted. And we walk on. Mrs. Santiago is sweeping the dirt off her front steps. Buenos dias, Zachary. And she waves her broom at us. Who's this? My brand new baby sister. What do you call her? We call her, and I look at Mama and Mommy, Snuggle Bunny, I say before they can stop me, because we love to snuggle with her. There's nothing more snuggly than a brand new baby, says Mrs. Santiago. Want to come with us to her naming ceremony? I ask. That's when her real name will be announced. Nothing would make me happier, says Mrs. Santiago. And we walk on. Soon we arrive at the synagogue. Oh, I love this. The rabbi winks at us from the bima and continues chanting as we sit in the front row. When the service is almost finished, the rabbi looks up from her prayer book. Today is a very special day, she says. Today, the newest member of our congregation receives her name and is welcomed into our community. We join the rabbi up on the bima. I can see the whole congregation. Everyone is smiling. Mama says a blessing for little Babka. Mommy says a blessing for Shanae Madela. The rabbi says a blessing for Snuggle Bunny. Her eyes are closed, but I know she's listening. I hold my baby sister gently. Her eyes are still closed. I take a deep breath and recite the words that I have practiced all week. Because you make our hearts sing with happiness, I begin. We decided to call you My sister opens her eyes and stretches out her little hand as though she wants to pull her name right out of my mouth. Aliza Shira, which means joyful song. When I finish, my sister gives a loud burp. Everyone chuckles. Mommy grins, Mama beams, and Aliza Shira drools. I laugh. After the service is over, we eat lunch at the social hall. Everyone visits our table and says Mazel Tov and fusses over Aliza Shira. Soon it's time to go home. I get to push the baby carriage. Adios, Zachary. Adios, Aliza Shira, says Mrs. San Diego. Such a darling name for a darling baby. We walk on. So long, Zachary. So long, Aliza Shira, says Mr. Baraka. Such a pretty name for a pretty baby. We walk on. Goodbye, Zachary. Goodbye, Aliza Shira, says Mrs. Fukuma. Such a lovely name for a lovely baby. We hurry home. Mommy lifts Aliza Shira out of her carriage and Mama opens the door. Stella and Bella run in circles, wagging their tails and barking. They're singing you a joyful song, I tell my baby sister. They're saying, we love you, Aliza Shira. Welcome home. And here is the author's note. A baby naming ceremony is a time of great joy. To celebrate a boy's birth, many families hold a ceremony called a Brit Milah in their home and on the 8th day after he's born. And many families celebrate a girl's birth with a ceremony known by several names, Brit Bat, Brit Shaim, or Simchat Bat, which takes place either in their home or synagogue during a Shabbat service shortly after she's born. Some parents choose to keep the baby's name a secret until these ceremonies take place. It says parents choose a baby's name with great care, for they're chosen for a variety of reasons. I'm not going to read all of that because some of the words I can't pronounce, and like a baby born at night might be named Lila, Hebrew for night. A baby born in the spring might be named Aviva, Hebrew for spring. Oh. She says, I was named after my maternal grandfather, Louis, who died 3 months before I was born and was said to be patient and kind. So cool. Anyway, that was that one. Let me go back to this. Here we go. And yay. There we go. Okay. So what, I like the way the illustrations have been done. It's complements the story. I know. I thought they were so wonderful, that, especially that one centerpiece what had that they were, as they were walking up to the synagogue. It's just wonderful. And I apologize always for pronunciation of things I get wrong. Oh, well, I still think it's just, I think too oftentimes the kids used to avoid reading things if they didn't get the words. And I always told them, or they didn't get the names right. And I said, get it closer, get it something close to what you think it is. And you can always correct it later if you need to. I'll learn. I know the colors in that book were really, really cool. Hebrew is not easy. No. And you've heard me read enough of them about that. I've goofed them up, and I've always been so tolerant and polite about my goofs. But so the next book is about it's about a place and somebody that thinks the place is magical. It's by Zifang, And Zifeng is an award-winning illustrator and maker of books for young readers. She was born in Taiwan, raised in Atlanta, Georgia, bounced around Brooklyn and Philly before settling down in Mid-Coast, Maine with her husband and dog. Let's see, what else? Some of her work. Come on, show her work. She has Dim Sum Palace, which is what I'm going to read. We Are Definitely Human. And then these shows a couple other pieces of her work in charcoal, which is interesting. So, let's go to there and pull things back up to where I'm supposed to be. There we go. Yay. Here's the book. This is the book, Dim Sum Palace. Now let me see if I can get it a little brighter here for you. I had to reset some things, and so I want to make sure that this camera is on the right. Good, it's on manual focus. My autofocus doesn't always work the best with some of these books, especially if there's a difference between face and words, and I kind of need it to be right. So like this is a good page, and I can autofocus. Nope. There we go. Chinese broccoli. Got it. Okay. Here is the book that I'm going to read called Dim Sum Palace. And if you're like me, maybe you're a fan of dim sum. Oh, I love it. We used to, whenever we go to Vancouver, British Columbia, there is an amazing dim sum restaurant up there. There's some in Seattle too that I've been to, but there's one that Bob and I go to, and it's been so long, but it's like upstairs in in the block of this building. And it's just like practically the whole block long. It's wonderful. Dim Sum Palace. Come out. There we go. Words and Pictures by Zifeng. Liddy was excited for her bedtime because the next day her family was going to the Dim Sum Palace. Is it a real palace? Will I meet an empress? Liddy asked. You'll just have to wait and see, Mom replied. Good night, my little dumpling. Liddy was too excited to fall asleep. And then a delicious smell wafted into her room. What could that be? Liddy climbed out of bed and walked out the door and entered the Dim Sum Palace. She followed a delicious smell through the garden and down a hall and into the kitchen, where she found two busy chefs making dim sum. There were baos and buns and bowls of congee, dumplings and shumai, and lots of sweet treats. It all looked so tasty. But before Liddy could take a bite, she slipped and fell into a bowl of dumpling filling. Hi, Shauna. The chefs were too busy to notice the little girl in their bowl. They folded and pinched, and soon Liddy was a dumpling, and she looked good enough to eat. I love this. Look at that. Oh, and the chef. Out in the dining area, the Empress was waiting for her dumplings. She was very hungry. And as the Empress went to take her first bite, Liddy shouted, "Stop! Don't eat me!" "I'm not a dumpling. I'm a little girl." "Oh, why, yes, you are," the Empress replied. Being a dumpling made Liddy very hungry. So when the Empress invited her to stay for dim sum, she happily accepted. The food was delicious. Liddy took bite after bite until her belly was round and full. Then she curled up on a warm bun and fell right to sleep. When Liddy woke up, she was back in her bed and hungry for more dim sum. I love her bed hair. Look at the details of that, even down to bed hair. The real dim sum palace wasn't a palace at all. That looks like the place in Seattle. And there was no Empress. But Liddy didn't mind one bit because the food tasted better than in her wildest dreams. There. Look at this. Dim Sum Palace is Zifang's first picture book. Her first picture book. Well done. I look at the bok choy, how she surrounds her around with the bok choy and the ginger roots. I love this. There, she's getting ready for bed. Her hair's all neat and tidy, and Mom calls her her little dumpling. And she dreams away. She's such real. I love it. So cute. I love how in a children's picture book like this, you don't have to have necessarily logical progressions. I mean, you can skip part and jump to, and she goes here from there. I'm not a dumpling, I'm a little girl. I love how she comes out of the dumpling, and then all of a sudden, she's very hungry. There's no fear. She's just hungry. And it all just works together. Look at the background on the plate. I love it. Such a cute, fun book. There. Well, let's see. Shauna made it. Yay! Great stories. Yes. Shauna, I'm so glad you could come. That you made it here tonight. Just so you you might not have heard, I'm starting these now at 6:00 rather than 6:00 Pacific rather than 6:30, just because gives everybody a little bit more time in the evening, or it's not quite so late for the East Coast stuff. Yeah, that was a cute story. So cute book, fun, had family and I like family and cultural stories. Kids learn so much. Exactly. I agree, Fatima. I think, that's one of the wonderful things that we have in our picture books is the chance to take a peek into other cultures in some way, and even if it just sparks a child's interest in one thing or another, I just think it's wonderful. Plus, it sparks our own. Yeah, great. So anyway, tonight, I only have those two for you tonight, and I know it's kind of a short one, but Bob just got home about 10 after 5 our time. He'd been in Seattle today, and he goes in once a month to do a company that he used to work for, do their books, and he had a 2-hour commute on the way in and a 2.5 hour or 2 hour and 15-minute commute on the way home. And he didn't even really travel during rush hour. And it's only 60 miles. Seriously. It's a 60-mile commute. And it took him over 2 hours. So he's a little worn out and he's making dinner. So I'm going to go upstairs and join him and have some dinner. But I hope you guys get a chance to, if you haven't checked out my Everyday Doodles, they're kind of fun. They're on the channel. They're in my shorts because they are short. And it's been real fun. Tomorrow will be my last one on that, but I'm going to start. Okay. Where's my basket? It's over there. So I'm going to do a new challenge, but it's a year-long challenge. And I saw a watercolor artist who's doing it, and I started Leslie Stoltz, I think is her name, and several people are doing it, and it's 100 tiny paintings in a year. She started on February 23rd. I'm making it my March to March Madness. March to March Madness. And I cut the papers, and they're all like 2 inches, 1.5 by 2 inches. They're little tiny ones. And I put all of the supplies I needed to do them. I pre-cut them. I put the things I'm going to need to do them all in a little basket, like a tisket, a tasket, put it in the dang basket so that I can, and it is April, I think. When do you turn the clocks back? Oh, spring, fall back, spring forward, don't we? Spring forward. Don't we spring forward? I don't know. Oh, when is that? Anyway, yeah, I'll try to remember to put out a post on that for that, on the dates. It will stay at 6 o'clock, whatever the time. It's going to be 6 o'clock, even when they go back or forward. It'll be 6 o'clock. I won't change that time. But anyway, so I'm going to start this new challenge on. So tomorrow's the 28th. So I'm starting it on Saturday. So I'll do the first one. So it'll be about 2 paintings. If you do 2 a week, then you can get 100 done. But they're tiny. So it's things, and one of the tricks to it, or not tricks, but one of the techniques to doing something like that is to have everything all ready. So, and that you don't have to go searching for things and give yourself an excuse not to do it. So literally I put everything I need in a little tiny basket, and I'll show it to you. Let me grab it just a sec. Okay, I'm back. So I have to show you. This is silly, but I'm going to brag about it. Okay, here it is, my basket. So this is just a little 4x4, but that's going to be my palette, or my what I put things on. Here, take this out here. So inside here are all the 100 pieces of paper that I've cut. So they're tiny. I have some masking fluid in case I might need it. I have 2 little water things. This one is actually something that my grandfather made at one point. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like really, really heavy. It does not want to fall over at all. It's super, super heavy. It's solid, like. And then this is another watercolor thing. And, but I just going to need tiny, one for clean, one for dirty. I have a tiny palette that my friend made. a paw print palette. And then I have a couple of pieces of paper towel in there and some washi tape. So I'll use the washi tape to actually tape one of these guys on here if I need to. These I still have to, I got good paper for them and cut it all up. I'm still going to pre-wet them side to side, back and front, so that they don't curl so much. And then these are old slides. And they're all, you can't see them. They're all different. Can you see? Nope, you can't see them. They're different landscapes. And I have thousands of them, but I've pulled some that I'm going to use some of the first for painting those, for ideas for painting scenes. Then I have inside here, that goes down there. Then on the top part has my, the little set of Daniel Smith Primatex that make the, that do the watercolor, that do the, what are they? They're the granulating, they're made with stones. So there's jadeite and rhodolite and all that kind of stuff. And then I have a black, gold, white, and silver pen. I have my pencil. I have 3 brushes. I have this, and then I have this is another little thing of watercolor that I have. And I'm using this one because it has pre-mixed colors. And if I'm going to just do it, I want to not have to worry too much about having a whole bunch of paints in there and tubes. And this is a pretty small palette, and I like it. So it's a koi watercolor. And so that's my whole tisket a tasket, put it in a dang basket so I can do the job and get the thing done. Oh, yep. Where am I? Yeah, there I am. So that's that. Showed that off. Anyway, we'll see on Sunday. I should have done at least one. Maybe should. Also kind of inspired by Larry's little tiny watercolors that he did. I realized that, oh my gosh, those were so much fun. Hopefully these won't take me too long. And if they're small, then yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Anyway, you guys, so thank you for being here. Sunday night, send in your artwork. Let's see what you've been doing. And I will have my final of my watercolor everyday doodle. I'll have the finals all done so I can show you that. And I'll have my first tiny watercolor done, hopefully. And we'll see what's going on. Yeah. So everybody, thanks for being here. And do something creative for yourself tomorrow. Just enjoy, relax the day. Enjoy the fact it's a day that you don't have to spend any money. You get to just completely join the rest of the world and let your voice be heard. So until next time, everybody, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your own mirror. And I'll see you on Sunday.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard.
That's right. Ramadan is just around the corner. Oh, thank you, Fatima, reminding us that. Thank you. Oh, I have to go onto my library and look for Ramadan books. I always have to put them on hold because they get scooped up. Yes, enjoy your holiday. Fatima, I have some friends, really close friends, one of my coaches, Doc, in Hawaii, and some of my kids are in, my one daughter is in Arizona, and so he's like, oh,
You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual.
yeah, it's a habit that,
You don't even try.
it doesn't really apply much more. We're not necessarily a farming community anymore. The world. Regulated. Yes. Thank you, Tamra. I'm kind of decided I needed to do something. My desk was piled 18 feet deep, and you might have to try a couple. Good. Yay. And I had too many projects going on, and I thought, I have all these baskets. Why don't you just put a project in a basket and everything you need for that basket in there? And then it's good. And so now it's a work in progress. Everyday paint basket. I like that. EDP. Oh, I could use it for plein air. Today was a sunny day. Actually, we finally had sunny, gorgeous day. I took Aldo for a walk to the beach, and it was beautiful. It's sunny and warm, but then we might have snow next week. So I so enjoy this, you guys. I really do. It's really up there in probably my top 5 favorite things to do. And I've got to finish a book. I'm supposed to be in a focus group tomorrow with the author on a book, and I don't have it finished. I haven't done my homework. So I gotta get crack-a-lackin'. All right, guys. Good night.